Aquarius, Elsie here with your weekly reading. How are you? I hope you're well. Happy full moon in Leo to you. I hope you're doing well. Aquarius, how are you doing? I'm just here to do a check-in. How are you doing? Some of the Aquariuses in my life are having a bit of a rough time. So sound off, friends. This is a safe place for you to tell us what's going on. And I am here to do a 9-card draw for you. So maybe a little bit of information is what you need. I'm here to read for you, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. If you are brand new and you just found me, just stumbled onto me, I just came through your feed, then welcome here. I hope you'll stay. We do have a beautiful, large group of Aquariuses here, so I hope that you will stay. And if you do decide to stay, please hit the subscription button so you know when I'm uploading, because then you will know when I'm uploading for your sign specifically. I do this reading once a week. And if you're the one that keeps coming back, my ride or die Aquariuses, no matter where you have your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, thank you so much for your hypes, for your thumbs up, all that stuff that helps bring in new Aquarius people. All right, at the end of this video, I will tell you about private reads and an extended. Let's find out what's going on, Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, what's going on with you? Oh, we start with the 9 of Cups. I like it. Alignment, happiness, being open to happiness. We've got the 3 of Swords, very different opposing energies, right? And we've got the 2 of Swords. There it is. That's the problem. It feels like you're struggling right now with a decision. It feels like there is a decision here to be made, and it also feels like you feel under pressure to make that decision right now. Maybe it feels like you're under pressure to jump through some hoops or do something that somebody else wants from you, make a decision. I feel like you're barely holding it together at this time. It feels like somebody's really on the struggle bus. I feel like somebody is asking you what makes you happy. Or maybe it's you asking yourself, Aquarius. It doesn't even have to be coming from an external source. It feels like I feel like you want to take a risk, or you want to do something that is of your passions. So makes you passionate about life, passionate about a person. I think you want to do that. But it feels like, I want to say that you're struggling right now to barely hold things together. There is a tower that's about to show up for you. The bottom of the deck for me is always the future energy, Aquarius. So a tower is about to show up for you. And I feel like you've been trying to, through brute strength, hold everything together in your life. But please understand that when the collection of planets that are showing up in your sign are there right now, it is for a collective change, and you're going to feel the brunt of all of that. So if you don't know what the party is all about in your sign, with all of the energies you have there, please go see an astrologer and you'll know why you're on the struggle bus. So I think that what's going on here is it feels like there is some really important decision that needs to be made. And I think the reason that you're stuck or blocked from making the decision is because it's going to make you happy, but someone else sad. It feels like it's going to break someone else's heart, and it's going to make you happy, or it'll break your heart whilst making someone else happy. I feel like it's almost like the 2 of Swords is a double-edged sword, and I mean, all swords are, right? Both sides are sharp. And so I feel like the hardest part is the 5 of Swords. I feel like you're fighting your mind, fighting your thought patterns. Right now, you're holding back from making some type of decision that you know may be good for you, but you feel pressured to make a decision that may be good for someone else. That's your humanitarian side. That's the conundrum of being a heartfelt humanitarian. Tell me more about Aquarius here. We've got the 3 of Wands. Yeah, there's a future decision coming up. And I feel like your decision is going to be based on what is going to make you happy in the future. But that means that somebody around you is not going to be happy with your decision. So it's weighing very heavy on you here. The future weighs heavy on you, my friend. So either you are uncertain because you can't see it, or you can't see a way to make a decision without disappointing someone else or breaking their heart. I feel like this decision of the future and what goes on there is weighing really heavy on you. And please understand that even though things can be good in your life, maybe you're not the one dealing with broken heart energy. Maybe it's just a bit of disappointment as to, damn, I always have to come to this crossroads where the universe is asking me to make a decision that's really hard, that might hurt somebody. I feel like the 10 of Wands tells me that no matter how beautiful the burden smells, it's still a burden. If you're carrying it and you don't want to, Aquarius, it's still a burden. Tell me more. We've got the Judgment card. Look, the universe is about to force your hand, friend. The universe is about to force your hand on this decision. And this decision, whatever you make of this decision, it's going to be different for all of you. It could be relationship, it could be job, it could be anything that you're facing right now that I feel you feel pressure from the universe to make a decision. The Judgment card tells me that whatever decision you make sends you on a completely different path than you're on right now. Now, this could be good or bad, right? Depending on what's going on in your life. When you're, we're always when there's a time in our life when we are being pressured by the universe, or the universe is forcing our hand to make a decision, it's really for a reason. The universe doesn't do it just to piss you off or screw up your life or flip tables and make things annoying for you. It's really a very important decision about what path you take next. And understand that there are going to be lessons on both paths, but I feel like the universe is forcing your hand because I don't think you can carry around this burden very much longer. The burden of a broken heart, which could be your own broken heart, it could be your own disappointment, or the disappointment or broken heart of another. I do believe that this is a choice that you're making that ends up good, works out good for you, but it's a really hard decision for you to make. We've got the Hermit energy. Yeah, you've pulled away from people. You are pulling your energy away, pulling in, pulling away, trying to heal yourself, trying to heal the mind, or get clarity, Four of Swords, right? Stability, swords of the mind. So you're trying to get clarity, you're trying to heal, you're trying to find the right way to do this. I feel like, I don't know why I'm saying the right way to do this, but it feels like you want to do it in a way that's going to minimize the impact to you and other people. We have 3 and 2, which is 5, and then we have 4, which is 9. This is worrisome. Right? 9 swords. This seems to be quite worrisome. And I think because it is, it feels like you have pulled your energy in, pulled your energy away, or pulled it back. You might be in a dark night of the soul. We always hear what people use that term, right? We hear people in the tarot community and in the spiritual community use that phrase, dark night of the soul. What is that? It's a place where you really do feel like you're in the dark. I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't, but I've got to make a decision. And either way, somebody's going to lose. And we're learning about ourselves, and we're learning not to abandon ourselves through the decision-making process. You're learning how to turn your back, friend. Yeah. I feel like you're learning how to turn your back, make changes, like permanent changes. That's the thing, that the 8 of Cups is telling me that there's a reason you're an Aquarius. You must do this decision-making process in a detached way. It's time for you to turn your back on someone, something, a job, a situation, a person. We've got the Lovers here. There's a choice to be made here. And I feel like the choice is probably going to let off a little bit of steam. You won't feel so burnt out. I feel like right now you're feeling mentally burnt out because you're trying to make some sort of mental decision without doing anything physically about it. So you're negotiating with yourself, 2 of Swords, right? Negotiating. What do I do? What do I do? And so right now I feel like things are at a halt. It feels like nothing is moving at this moment, and it's causing a little bit of friction or irritation for you. I'm going to put down 2 cards. We're going to find out what is under the surface that you don't see. Tell me about Aquarius. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the 7 of Pentacles. Look, your growth cannot be stopped. It can't be stifled. And I feel like there's no more time left to wait. This feels like something you've put on the back burner. And usually when I see a tower show up, which I saw at the beginning of the reading on the bottom of the deck, which means in the future, you will be going through something that is going to fall apart that you've been trying to hold together. And that's exactly what's going on in your sign with all the planetary movements that are going through your sign at this time. So the 7 of Pentacles tells me we've waited long enough. When the Wheel of Fortune shows up, it's time to go. It's time to move. Destiny's here. It's like the gears move again. And it's time for expansion. It's time for growth, and it's time to move forward because this is your destiny. That's why Judgment shows up. Because the universe is forcing your hand, because the universe knows you got to move forward anyway, and you've already waited long enough. I feel like there's something here that you've been trying not to decide on. It might be a move. It might be moving forward quickly, moving away from something. There's something here you've been keeping under the surface, and I feel like it might be feelings, how you feel about something. This simply might be bringing your feelings to the surface and telling someone exactly how you feel about them, or how you feel about a situation. But I feel like you've been trying to hold this together for a long time now. The Chariot energy is Cancer, and Cancer usually keeps everything under the surface until they absolutely and completely trust the whole situation. This particular depiction of Chariot tells me hurry up and wait. It feels like you've been under pressure to make this decision for a while, but you've waited on it. So I feel like the universe is now forcing your hand with the Tower, the Judgment, the Wheel of Fortune, which means you're having an awakening. And the awakening, I'm telling you, that first awakening, for those of you who've been through it, sound off in the comments, it's really terrible and awful. And if it hasn't been terrible and awful, you've not been through your first awakening, because it will be, you'll be on the floor or in the bathroom, thrown up in the toilet. I'm telling you, it's a really, really tough thing. It feels like something here is about to emerge or come to the surface, and you have no control over this anymore. You cannot keep it under the surface any longer. It's got to move. Let's talk about this Three of Swords here. We'll talk about the Three of Swords and see what's going on here. Tell me about the Three of Swords. What's this heavy pressure here? Because it does feel like it feels like there's a pressure on your chest or a pressure on your mind. It feels like that. Tell me about the Three of Swords. We've got the Three of Pentacles. It is about money, energy, time, effort, your workplace, the people you network with, the people you trust the most, your community of people. It feels like it has to do with some sort of foundation you've already built with friends, because this is partnership. This is not love. This is friendship, community, right? So it feels like there's something going on with inside your community or your friendship or somebody you used to trust, possibly you no longer trust. I think that this Five of Swords here is telling me, I better rethink this. I think we have fundamental differences. The Knight of Swords is here. I feel like this Tower that we keep seeing under the bottom of the deck here is probably to do with the Knight of Swords, because something is emerging and it's your tongue. And you know it can be pretty sharp. Look, you're the one who kind of just delivers the message. How you take it is your problem, not mine. That's kind of how the Knight of Swords is too, right? Is like, I'm just going to give you all the words that I have and I'm going to let you sort it out later. So I feel like you're about to say something to a group member or somebody at work. You've been trying to keep your tongue, I'm going to say, I had to take a big breath there if you heard it. You've been trying to keep your tongue tied for a while now, and I don't think you can anymore. So this could have to do with how you feel about someone romantically. This could be how you start to feel about a group that you feel like you don't belong in anymore. You felt that you were in a network and a community, and I don't feel like we're really connecting that way anymore. We have the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, that's what it feels like. I feel like, Aquarius, that you're about to have a really honest, truthful conversation with somebody that you know that you've been very close to for a while. It does feel like a friend, a networker, or somebody who is a very close coworker in your life, like, you know, how we call each other work wives, work husbands. It feels like that. It feels like something here really has to be spoken of. And it has to do with reciprocal energy. I feel like there is somebody here who sees you as a lone wolf, which you are. We've got 6 and 3 Pentacles, which is 9. Someone sees you as confident. Someone sees you as someone who doesn't need anybody, and you really don't. The truth is that you really don't. But I feel like this person has been acting some kind of way to you. The Three of Swords is here. They've been aloof. They've been turning their back on you. They've been putting you off or not answering your texts or something like that. And I think it's a problem. It's become a problem. So look, I feel like what you've done is you have pulled yourself back. You've pulled your energy back with the Hermit energy here in order to get a better look at the future. In order to get a better look at the future and how you are going to expand, expansion is here, how you're going to expand into the future without having to take forward this burden that you're carrying. It feels like you're on the fence about whether you have come to the end of a situation that you no longer want to drag around with you. Tell me about the Three of Wands, what's in the future. We've got the Page of Wands, which was on the bottom of the deck before, by the way. It feels like you're really looking over a situation. The Page of Wands is here. You're really looking closely over a situation before you take action. You're curious, if I decide to do what I'm about to do, how are people going to react? The Queen of Cups is here. You could be dealing with an older sister, a mother, somebody who's a softer sort of energy, or maybe a feminine leaning energy. Maybe it's a friend who leans into their feminine energy. We have the Four of Cups. Something here has become stale or stagnant. I feel that you feel emotionally rejected by somebody. And look, if you can get an Aquarius to share their emotions with you, you are the golden coin. I mean, you are the golden egg. That you are the one that they value the most. I feel like you feel emotionally rejected by somebody here, and you're curious as to why this is happening. So you've pulled your energy back with the Hermit energy, and you're saying like, what do I do next? My life has to expand, and I don't want to carry all this heavy weight into the future. What do I do with it? So it feels like you're about to make a decision because the universe is forcing your hand. Let's talk about the Judgment card. The universe is forcing your hand because you've waited too long. You can no longer wait. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Destiny must take its course. And you're going to be kicking and screaming and being dragged along this change, this other path, it feels like. Tell me about Judgment. We've got the Seven of Wands, we've got the Queen of Wands, and we've got the Star. Well, look, people see you as independent. They see you as fiery. I'm going to do what I want. You guys want to hang out with me? Then you're just going to have to follow me. They see you as very strong. They see you as someone who has a lot of boundaries. And so this sort of all falls in line with Aquarius energy. Somebody who is the Star, who attracts a lot of people. Look, I've never met an Aquarius I wasn't attracted to, either physically or intellectually or vibrationally. And you do have this star attraction energy. I feel like you are, you're like the Queen of Wands, I would say, whether you're the man or the woman, the feminine or the masculine leaning, you're an independent person. You are the lone wolf. You're just going to do what you're going to do. And if people want to follow, they can. That would be great if I had somebody along the way. But if you don't, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. So I feel like the Judgment card is here with the Two of Swords because the universe is forcing your hand and saying, look, put your money where your mouth is. It's time for you to make the change. You can't sit here and be stagnant in this energy any longer, feeling rejected, feeling terrible about yourself. It's time for you to make a really big decision about where you're going next, and that's the only way you're going to be able to heal. You're going to have to turn your back on something. Bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor. There it is. That's the whole story, man. You have to get into your Emperor shoes. Put on your Emperor hat. Figure out what it is that you need to do. Look, the Emperor makes the hard decisions and the easy decisions. The Emperor is the one who runs the empire. And if one, the Emperor is not going to sacrifice the whole empire for the one. Right? So you really have a heavy decision to make because the Emperor is somebody who wants to see the empire flourish, but also is the one who knows that if there's one person who has the plague, I got to kick that person out of the kingdom because they're going to kill everybody else. Look, these are really hard decisions that you're up against here. So I feel like you are needing strength. You're needing to make a decision that is going to not be a popular decision, but that it's going to be the best one for you. And it feels like it comes with some sort of a materialization of some sort of opportunity that you might be looking at taking. The Hanged Man is here, and you've been thinking about it for a while. It's the waiting, and that's why we've been seeing the Tower. Look, if you want to come to the extended and watch me pull this apart, I am going to clarify the rest of this. So if you're interested in watching that Aquarius, I will be in the extended. Please look at the pinned comment that is at the top of all of the comments. If you click on read more, you will see that there is a link there for the membership, and that's where all the extendeds go. So if you want at least 4 extendeds in a month, you can come to the membership. If you want to just purchase this one outright to see what happens through the rest of this general reading, then you can just click on the link that I've provided there. If you are interested in a private read, because this is something you're going through, then please click on the link to Hypsee and take a look at my pricing. I do currently have a package that is $25 and they go up from there. So depending on how many answers you need or how detailed you need them, please take a look at the Hypsee pricing. I'm doing readings that are pre-recorded, but I'm also doing readings live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'm usually online Central Standard Time between about 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. It's going to vary, so please check out my schedule. You will get between 5 and 75% off of the live calls, whether you want them through video, through phone, or through text, and that varies as well. All right, I'm going to go for now into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where I will see you next, but if you don't want to be there, that's cool, because I'm going to go, and if I see you next time here, that's great. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to go, but I'll be back, because I'm always back. Take care, Aquarius. Bye-bye.